This video is sponsored by Milanote. If you spend a lot of time here on YouTube learning about photography or getting inspiration, you're probably used to seeing a lot of talk about camera equipment. But I find one of the biggest problems with watching online content is that it usually skews more towards the newest camera gear that's coming out. So the latest version of this camera or this lens or this accessory. More people want to watch these videos, and it makes us YouTube content creators want to make them because they get more clicks. And so as a photographer watching these videos, you begin to feel as though you kind of need to keep up to date and keep buying these new lenses and cameras in order to stay relevant. And yes, even my channel definitely adds to this never-ending, always growing mass of content about new equipment. But it's been on my to-do list for a long time. I've really wanted to make this video as kind of a reminder to you guys that in order to make great images, you definitely don't need the latest equipment. I think this is especially true when it comes to camera lenses. Recently, I went on a trip to Tasmania with my friends. It's an island at the bottom of Australia. It's really beautiful. I decided that I wanted to do this trip completely different. I brought my R6 and only 2 lenses. And the 2 lenses that I brought were the Canon EF 16-35 2.8 version 2 and the Canon 100mm f2. Now, these are both amazingly sharp, fast focusing and contrasty lenses, but they are quite old. The 16-35 was first released back in 2007, so it's about a 14-year-old design. And the 100mm lens, this one was first released back in 1991, which makes this design 30 years old, and it's almost as old as I am. And these 2 lenses I got secondhand. The 100mm, that's mine, but the 16-35 I actually borrowed from a friend. So the reason that I took these 2 lenses was to show you guys that you don't need the newest RF lenses in order to make good images. In fact, for most people that are getting into photography, maybe you're 2 or 3 years in, I would encourage you to avoid buying the newest lenses and instead go and pick up some of these older gems. You can find them used and they're very, very affordable. And with that leftover money, you can go and invest it in education, learning more about photography and your craft, or go and spend the money on a trip like I did and go and create some images that you're really proud of. Before we get into the footage from the trip, let me talk a little bit about an app called Milanote. As I mentioned before, they are the sponsor of this video. I use Milanote to plan all my photo shoots and creative projects. For me, Milanote is much better than your regular note-taking app because it allows you to create a visual space where everything is organized in a way that makes sense to you. Let's say I want to create a mood board for my clients. Simply select the mood board template and boom, you've got a beautiful collage of inspiration images to show off your project ideas. You can create checklists, add maps and links, and the best part is Milanote is collaborative. So you can invite everyone who is part of the project and they can see all of your boards and they don't even need to have a Milanote account. I even used Milanote to plan the entirety of this trip. I used it to design our itinerary, gather location inspiration. I even added details of our flights and Airbnbs so we can check back in on them throughout the trip. It's all stored in one place, which is super convenient. I invited the guys to my Milanote board and they could see the hiking routes and the maps right on their phone within the Milanote app. I also created a checklist of all the gear that I needed to bring so that I wouldn't forget anything. You can sign up to a completely free Milanote account today. There's a link down in the description below. All of the photos and all of the video that you're about to see were all shot with the Canon R6 and these 2 lenses, so I hope you guys enjoy. Let me know what you guys thought of the images. Are there some older lenses that you guys love using? Let me know down in the comments. So I hope this was helpful to you guys or inspiring in some way. Make sure you guys get out and create something you're proud of this week, and I'll see you in the next video.